Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Satsang Ji, you're watching the Sikh channel and the Sikh Ethics Show 829 and worldwide on the internet. ਆਪਾਂ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਐਪੀਸੋਡਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸੰਚਾਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਐਂਡ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਭਾਈ ਜੇਤਾ ਜੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਭਾਈ ਜੀਵਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪ ਲਿਖੀ ਆ ਐਜ਼ ਇਨ ਡਾਇਰੀ ਫਾਰਮ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸੈਰੇਮਨੀ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ from 1699 a real account of Sikh ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ you know what an eyewitness account of the best account because ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਭਾਈ ਜੇਤਾ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦੇਖੀਏ he was a flawless diamond ਇੱਕ diamond ਸੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਦਾ a warrior a scholar and Guru Maharaj ne Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj ji ne aap kya rangeta Guru ka beta even the same padavi as the Char Sahibzade. So you know we're looking at his words here and we want you to also the material that we have we want you to also look at this and jinne bhi bande fe is cheez nu question karde hai you have the answers in front of you as well. So I'm going to come straight back. We've got the same panel that we had last time we were here. I'm going to thank Panji Ravinder Kaur, Ramandeep Singh and Bitnam for coming back into the studio and discussing the topic of Amrit Sanchar. I'm not going to waste any more time in sort of, I want to come back straight to the Granth and Bhai Now, we quoted some shabads from Bhai Sahib's Granth and I know we got a couple more to sort of quote. Now enlighten me where we were left off before.
So we were talking about the preparation of the Amrit now.
Ji.
So where Guru Gobind Singh Ji, he got the Panj Singh.
Ji.
And Maharaj made a bishai. It's beautiful that it's written in Bhai Jeta Ji's Granth.
Ji.
Aaj beh Amrit abalakhi 500 Singhan chayan karija ਸਕੇਸ ਕਰਹਿ ਇਸ ਨਾਨ ਸਭ ਹੈ ਜਨ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਜ਼ਫਫ ਪੁਸ਼ਾਕ ਪਹਿਰੀਜੈ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਕੰਬਰ ਦੇਹ ਬਿਛਾਈ ਸਭ ਤਿਸ ਕੰਬਰ ਆਸਨ ਕੀ ਜੈ ਕੰਬਰ ਉਪਰ ਰਾਖ ਲੋਹ ਪਾਤਰ ਪਾਤਰ ਮਹਿ ਸਭ ਨਦਰ ਟਿਕੀ ਜੈ
ਜੀ.
So Maharaj got the 5 Singhs together, put them on an asan, they created like a kambal paya siga thalle, and then unnu bitha ke then bought the bata. And in the Granth is referred to as patra. And put the patra and asked all 5 Singhs to put their nazar facing into the bata. The ceremony is exactly the same as we do as of today. So there's no, sometimes we do look for references. These are our factual evidences to collect that this actually happened. It's not something that's just made up or has been changed through oral history. This is actual factual evidence. When Maharaj got the 5 Singhs together, Bhai Jeta Ji has also recorded the Panj Baniya that were recited at the time. Right? The Japji Sahib, Jap Sahib, Tvai Swaye, Chopi Sahib and Anand Sahib the part. Jap Jap Swaye Chopi Anand ko Paat so Pohol Tyar Karijai Pao Chule Mukh Pavhe So Yajak Et Hi Netar These are actual factual collected evidences. So those Panj Baniya that were read, they were so also earlier on. Bhai Jeta Ji has referenced that all those Singhs that were put together were asked to come with Kesi Isnan and wearing clean bastar. Right. So these Panj Pyare now they've taken the Kesi Isnan before they obviously came. They were in clean bastar, and now right now they're looking into that bata. The Panj Baniya recited by Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And then once that the whole ceremony has happened, because the ceremony in itself is quite long. So the Baniya recited, the Amrit is administered. So that the administration of the Amrit, if we just quickly go through this, is we take it in our netras, in our eyes, 5 times. We take a chola, we drink 5 times the Amrit that Guru Gobind Singh Ji had prepared, the Singhs drunk it at the time.
जी.
And then Panj, in the top of the head where our Dasam Dwar is, that's where Guru Gobind Singh Ji put 5, I guess, if you like, splashes of the Amrit into each of those 5 things.
Okay.
And that awakened those things, and they became Khandabati. They took the ball and they became Amritari.
So the site became Pavitra, the mouth became Pavitra, and it opened up
the channel of communication.
The channel communication, Pavitra eyes, Pavitra Rasna, and connection with God.
Yeah. So if you go with the Bhavana of 1699, and you sit there standing in front of Panj Pyare, in your eyes you see Guru Gobind Singh Ji, because that's the reference that Guru Gobind Singh Ji gave. They gave their legacy to us in the form of Panj Pyare, when we take our Khande Bhati, the Amrit. But what also follows with that is the very explicit, detailed account of the do's and don'ts. And I think that's quite important.
Just before you come to the do's and don'ts, now Sikh channel, I've been around for 5 years, and I mean we had a lot of controversy over this 3-4 years ago, and I'm not going to name the individual, but he started the sort of controversy. I just call him the nutty professor. Okay, he calls himself professor or something, but I don't know where he ever got his degree from or where he ever became a professor from. And he's never been able to produce that, because I've actually had dialogue with him in Canada to say, okay, a professor kitthon aaya tenu, kinne tenu eh thapi, and everything like that. But ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਗੁੰਮਰਾਹ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਿ ਚੌਪੇ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਬਾਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਜਾਪ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਬਾਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸਵਈਏ ਬਾਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸੰਚਾਰ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ, ਬਟ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੰਜੇ ਬਾਣੀਆਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਚੋਂ ਲਈਆਂ, ਤੇ ਇਹ ਜਾਪ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਚੌਪੇ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੇ ਸਵਈਏ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੱਢ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ this is not ਬਾਣੀ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੁੰਮਰਾਹ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। ਇਹ ਸੋਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ, ਕੱਲਾ ਇੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ, ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ 5-6 ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਹਿ ਲੋ ਕਿ ਪੰਥ ਨੇ ਛੇਕ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਪੰਥ ਨੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪੰਥ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕੱਢ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਇਫੈਕਟਿਵਲੀ, ਬਟ ਹਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੀ ਫੋਲੋਇੰਗ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਤੇ ਕਦੀ ਕਦੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ when we talk to these people, it's like they're so entrenched in them. ਕਿੱਥੇ ਲਿਖਿਆ, ਕਿੱਥੇ ਲਿਖਿਆ, ਕਿੱਥੇ ਲਿਖਿਆ, yet they know where it's written. But Sikh ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਹਨਾ ਕਨਫਿਊਜ਼ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ, can you imagine ਕਿ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ in his wisdom 3 ਬਾਣੀਆਂ ਦਸਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 2 ਬਾਣੀਆਂ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਹੁਣ ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ ਦਾ ਨਟੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਇਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੰਜੇ ਦੇ ਪੰਜੇ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਵਿੱਚ। when Guru Gobind Singh had that position he could have done it in the beginning like that, है ना। ਤੇ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ 4 ਬਾਣੀਆਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਅਰਦਾਸ, ਆਪਣੀ ਰਹਿਣੀ, ਆਪਣੀ ਬਹਿਣੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਦਸਮ ਦੇ ਚੋਂ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਏਜੰਟਸ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਜਾਂ ਕੁਛ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ, ਇਹ ਬੰਦੇ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਨੂੰ ਖਰਾਬ ਕਰਦੇ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਗਿਆਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਆ, but you know sometimes these people become so dangerous because of that knowledge, and people think ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਬਹੁਤ knowledge, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਬਹੁਤ knowledge ਆ, ਇਹ ਸੱਚ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਹੋਣੇ ਆ, ਇਹ ਉਹ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਹੋਣੇ ਆ, ਐਂਡ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੰਟਰੋਵਰਸੀ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਝਗੜੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ। ਪਿਛਲੇ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰਕ ਆਇਆ ਸੀ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੋਂ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰਕ ਸਮਝਦਾ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ 'ਚ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਆਫ ਹਿਸ ਵਿਊਜ਼। ਨਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਵਰਗਿਆਂ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਬਚ ਕੇ ਰਹੋ। ਇਹ they're really out there to destroy Sikhi in a sense, because ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਰਮਨਦੀਪ ਸੁਣਾ ਰਿਹਾ from the it hasn't changed from 1699. It hasn't changed. We're 300 years on. It hasn't changed.
So what did I mean? The thing is, right? These people, right, who were saying, I mean, if you look at it the other way, they're probably going around saying the same thing. And you know, the Amritaris, you know, the likes of myself, yourself, yeah, they're the ones also going around saying, and the thing is, because the society is such, they're going to want to go for the easy path, which is
there's a balance there. There's a balance there. मैं हैरान सी कि because they don't like certain banis of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Norway ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ। ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਭਗਉਤੀ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਉਸ ਭਗਉਤੀ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਪਾਤਾ।
ਮਾਫ ਕਰਨਾ, just to clear things up, it wasn't in Norway, it was Finland.
Finland,
ਹਾਂ,
Finland.
Norway ਦੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਫੀ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਆ।
Finland, sorry.
But yeah, because I've worked in Norway. So.
Yeah, okay, so it just slipped out. It was that neck of the woods.
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
Okay, but ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਦੇਖ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਮੱਤ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੋਗੀ। So influential people sometimes can lead you up in the wrong path. Yeah. What I'm saying to you, Sat Sangat Ji, ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਾ ਮੰਨੋ, ਆਪ ਸਟੱਡੀ ਕਰੋ, ਆਪ ਉਸ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਨੂੰ ਗ੍ਰਹਿਣ ਕਰੋ, ਰਿਸਰਚ ਸਰਚ ਸਿੱਖ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੀ ਸਿੱਖਣਾ, research so that you get the right answers and not you know, follow people like sheep, because that's not Sikhi. ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੇ ਭੇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਣ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੇ and that's the cancer that's the thing, because you can tackle the enemy outside, but you can't tackle the cancer that's inside you.
And it comes in Bani, the Manavani Mahalla Panjama ke thal vich tin vastu payo sat santog vicharo Amrit naam thagar ka payo just je ko khave je ko puche, right? So until you eat it and digest it, you're not going to understand, you're not going to actually realize what the Shakti of it is and all that sort of thing. So you have to put it, you know, you have to, when you're eating something, you put it in your food, in your mouth, and you've got to chew it, take the taste out of it, and then it's got to go down and digest it. And that's the thing, until you've done that yourself, as Benji did with the Joel Beeshart, you know, her experience there, you know, until you experience it for yourself, you're not going to know the Shakti, the power of it. You can listen to other people and take their mat, but until you do it yourself, you're not going to realize.
And maybe that's another subject, but all I'm saying is that beware of these people. These are the same people who were preaching this, you know, and they've been through Amrit and Jars, and they've been doing exactly that, Japji Jap, Savaiye Chaupai, Anand. They've been doing that for years and years. And now suddenly, in the last years, they popped up and said, Sanu Gyan, Sanu Revelation, this is wrong. Now this is the crazy stuff. The crazy stuff is Sikh Sangta, Poliyan Paliyan. They tend to believe in sort of things because he's been a pracharak for 20, 30, 40 years, and he's a great pracharak or a great kirtani or whatever. Let's follow him. He must be saying the right thing. So I'm just saying, beware, Sat Sangat Ji. Kise sama aaya, apa ede utte vi ek program apa kalo ke lavange, so that we can raise awareness on these kind of issues as well. You know, Ravinder, you've just been through a ceremony very recently. So, you know, when the Panj Pyare came out, how did it make you feel?
Okay, they were in a room, so we were queued up to go into the room, one by one, to first do, they call it Pesh. Yeah. So, so went in there, but we were told not to look at the Panj Pyare. I don't know why. I still don't know up to today why I could not look at the Panj Pyare, who was stood on my right-hand side, and I was just to look at Maharajji and answer any questions I was asked. Right. It was only until the actual Amrit Sanchar, when I had the Amrit, or Amrit was given to me, I got to see the Panj Pyare.
Okay. So, as Ramandeep explained, the Panj apne mukh de vich splashes in the eyes and splash. That all happened then, you know? In the same manner as well, Ramandeep is saying?
Yes, that was right.
Yeah. And did it, when you went in and when you came out, was it a different person going in and a different person coming out?
I think that the atmosphere, because of the atmosphere, as soon as you went upstairs, it was in a different hall, and the minute you sat with the Sangat who were going to take the Amrit, it had changed for me. I was not thinking of anything that had happened to him in the past, what was happening that present moment, because we were reciting the Mool Mantra, so at that moment it was just Vaheguru, Vaheguru in the Mool Mantra.
So it just cleansed you of your
And yeah, it was like you
completely.
were just, yeah, because of the atmosphere and the Sangat there, you were so absorbed in the Sangat and the Mool Mantra, you were not thinking of anything else of how I'm going to feel afterwards. You were just going along with the flow. And to be honest, it started at 7 and I got my Amrit at 4 in the morning, Sunday morning. It was that long.
It was a long ceremony.
Yes.
Wow. Were there many people taking Amrit that day with you?
There was only about 4 new Amritaris that were people that taking Amrit, and there were a lot of babies getting baptized, taking Amrit, and some people who had come back to take Amrit again.
Okay, that's good. Okay, you.
My turn.
Taken a long time ago.
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
So same sort of stuff that
yeah,
was talking about?
Yeah, definitely. How it all happened is, I mean, my experience is that I was working in Norway at the time. And
that's why you're defending the Norway.
Yeah. So I went there 2007, started working in 2008. Although before I left, I was preparing anyway, so I'd grown my gears, had the start, and I was going towards walking towards the Guru. Right, started doing my Rehattan, I think, and then then when I got to the Oslo Gurdwara, and there I was just like a surreal experience. The Sangat was wonderful. After one divan, the first divan I went to, this guy came up to me and he jumped and he goes, "Kidda bhaji, Amrit chak liya?" And I said, "Nahi, right?" And he goes, oh, yeah. And I said, "Dekhne next year, right?" And he goes, "No. Aise saal, that's this year, that's it, you got to do this." I was like, oh my God, and what I was thinking at the time, and I've always thought is that anything that gets said to me at the Gurdwara is the Guru talking. Then that was it, and I thought, right, for that week I started phoning around, finding where the nearest Amrit Sajjad was, because I was going to come back to the UK for the weekend. So I suitably found a date and went straight for the Sajjad.
I remember receiving 2 phone calls.
Yeah, and all the people were saying to me, "Don't do it. Think about it, because you and your wife should go together and all that sort of thing." And it's that jin ko lagi pyas Amrit se hi khai. That sort of, once you get that thirst for it, you want to go for it, and you just don't care about anything else that's going on. You don't want to hear no for an answer.
Right. Okay.
And that's what happened. And I just took the plunge. I took them family with me. I took my mum was fit enough then, and my children all went along to the Gurdwara. They sat downstairs. And when, like you're saying, once I went into that divan, I'd forgotten about everyone else, everything else that was around me, what was going on, and then just going through that
taking a new rebirth.
Yeah. And then coming out, I felt I felt really good, really excited and really energized, as it were. And then going back to the daily life and going, I mean, what we did was we went straight after Mum went to see her Restadad in Birmingham, so we went there after the Amrit Sajjad, and it was good. It was really, I still had all I still had a sticky beard because of the Amrit and stuff. But no, it's really, really. Oh, and I lost my choppals. Somebody nicked my shoes there, so I went there barefoot.
That's good. That's probably another sake to tell another day.
And they were expensive.
Yeah. Coming back to the obviously we've been told how it's done, how the things came in, how the whole sort of was laid down, kediyan panj baniyan pad hoiyan us time te. It actually goes further, because I've read the Granth, keda Maharaj ne keda ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਬੈਠੇ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਗੋਡਾ ਥੱਲੇ ਲਾਇਆ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਹੱਥ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਖੰਡਾ ਫੜਿਆ, but chalo, that's probably going into real
granular details.
Now let's come to the important parts, because also this is what Bhai Jethaji heard the hukams on that day to the Panj Pyare, obviously, and Maharaj given them hukams ke aa cheejan tusi karniyan aj to. And let's start off with the first one.
So first and foremost was this: there's no one equal to Guru Granth Sahib Ji throughout the ages, to Guru Sahib. Following Gurmata will bring salvation. So we only have our Guru, we only bow down to our Guru. At the time it was Guru Gobind Singh Ji, now it's Guru Granth Sahib Ji. That's the first thing that Bhai Jethji had written in his Granth.
And you know, interestingly, that's 1699.
Yeah.
Maharaj is saying, Ke Shabd Guru, there's nobody equal to the Shabd Guru.
Right.
It is in 1708, which is 9 years afterwards, that Guru Gaddi Mel Diya. But the plan is already
in progress.
It's there.
Yeah.
And he's saying it to the Panjabhai that nobody higher than the Shabd Guru, Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And Gaddi Meldi 9 years later. That's a big hukum. ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਦੇ ਚ ਆਗਿਆ ਪਈ ਹੈ ਕਾਲ ਕੀ ਸਭੇ ਚਲਾਇਓ ਪੰਥ ਸਭ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਕੋ ਹੁਕਮ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਾਨਿਓ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ So the Guru, following the Guru Granth Sahib is the main thing. It's the living temporal Guru of the Sikhs. But ਆਪਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਜਾਣੇ, I know this is digressing again, but ਕਿੰਨੇ ਦੇਹਧਾਰੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਾਣੇ ਆ, ਕਿੰਨੇ ਜਾਣੇ ਆਪਾਂ to seek answers from so-called living gurus.
Because people say though, you know, I've heard this before, is that ke thada guru bolda nahi hega, sada guru bolda hai, right? So they're saying that discussion, because the human can have that discussion back, that, you know, that human chat, so to speak, something you can hear audibly. They say that, oh, ke thada guru bolda nahi hega, sada guru bolda. You know, that's where people then want to go to a human being, because they can have a discussion. And if that person is more learned, and what most of these gurus, these pseudo self-styled gurus do, is take Gurbani anyway. They take our Shabad Guru, right, and they twist it a little bit and then put it towards the way they want it to be perceived by the person, and then that's how they get these people hook, line and sinker. Because
I actually, you know, the Shabad Satguru ke charan toy piyo, and I remember listening to this Devatari Guru. And he was doing katha on that. Satguru ke charan toy piyo. Oh, kenda Guru Granth Sahib de charan hai nahi.
Oh dear.
Charan te da matlab fe dehtari de honge na. And he was doing it really calmly, and people saying, yeah, you know, really into it. The charan te dehtari de honge na. Dehtari de to Guru fe dehtari ho. I mean, they're twisting the lines, and apne aap te leke ja rahe hai. And unlearned people sort of fall for it a lot quicker.
Because the thing is, they're taking that same truth as well. This is the thing. Because people ke oh sunden, because they johan akhand path chalta hai, jab path chalta hai, kanamana karke pad jande biyani, right? So they don't hear what the Shabad is. Now, if somebody's sitting on a one-to-one or in a group discussion and you give it clearly, or you just take that one pankti of the Shabad and you say ki aha, wow, Sadhe Guru nu bahut kuch pata hai, you know. But he's taking the same Shabad which you're listening to in an Akhand Path, which you don't understand, and then he's just taking it and emphasizing it, but then twisting around towards himself.
I think there's also a fine line between, you know, the person who goes. Now, for example, I like to do darshan of Mahapurush. So for me, my Guru, I know who my Guru is, right? Shabad Guru. I do Dase Panchali Jot, I think, and Hazar Nazar Maharaj mein samajhde hain. But when you meet people who are Mahapurushes, people who are spiritually advanced, then they can help you learn more. But that doesn't mean that they're your Guru.
Educate you more.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to stop you there because we need to go to a break. And we'll pick it up then, and we'll pick up some of it, because we're going to tie up this program on Amrit Sanjar today. So I want to go through the rest of the hukums as well. So Satsangat Ji, see you after the break, and make sure you stay tuned to us. So Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome back into the studios, and I'm going to go straight over to Ramandeep. We're talking about what Bhai Jethji heard. We've heard the first one. Guru Granth Sahib nu apa Shabd Guru nu apna Guru, and nobody equal to the Shabd Guru.
Correct.
What was the second one?
Second one was the Gur Mantra, which is Vaheguru. Vaheguru is given to us from the Panjapyare, originally given to us from Guru Gobind Singh Ji after the Amrit Sanchar, and that's to be recited all the time, swasa, which to try and practice as much as possible
They call it abhyas, don't they? Abhyas, practice, rehearsal sort of thing. But what's the difference between a Waheguru Simran given by the Panj Pyare and Waheguru jidda hon Gurdwara Jam kande hai ki Waheguru Simran karya karo, do the Simran. So then, everyone can recite it, surely. And you don't have to just be Amritdhari. What's the difference?
So the difference is that experience when you walked out and you felt that your hard disk had been rebooted.
I like it.
So now when you do that same recital, you are personally going to feel something completely different.
But it's also given by the Guru Panth, the Panj Pyare, and it's a gift from your Guru. We can all recite the word, but then something given by your Guru to you is completely a different experience altogether. So a lot of people can recite Vaheguru and it'll calm them and it'll have the effect. But a Guru given thing is going to be a totally different ball game altogether. The third one.
So, most importantly, these are things that we shouldn't do, is no lying, and it's in Gurbani as well, they talk ninda, not slandering people behind their backs, right? Definitely not. Maharaj has explicitly said this, not to touch tobacco, not to eat meat. They've written, Bajetaji written kutta, and a lot of people argue about what the definition of kutta is, but it's my understanding is it is meat. It's a dead animal. It's not just halal.
Slaughtered, I think.
It's a dead animal. So there's the no drinking alcohol, adultery, right? Not to commit adultery. Only have one relationship, and that's with your wife, if you're married. Yeah? And really importantly is to not follow any Brahman rituals, right? And at that time, that's how society worked. People had things to do. They used to do a ritual, and they used to pay for the Pandits to do whatever they're going to do, to start whatever they're going to do. So from that day onwards, Maharaj said to us, after taking Amrit, we do not explicitly touch any or do partake in any ritual, Brahman ritual, any other, no ritual.
So carry on the next.
Because Maharaj also said that
so piercing is forbidden. We've got now. This is this body we've given to Guru Sahib. We've been reborn, and we're going to keep ourselves exactly as the way Maharaj has made us. We're not here to try and better this perfection that Guru Sahib has created, or Akal Purkh has created. Always remember Waheguru and be prepared to fight for Dharam, i.e. help everyone who comes to you. One of the classic examples a few shows back I mentioned was when Babar the Jabbar, who's an evil person, became repentful to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and Maharaj bakshed him, gave him a blessing, and he took the Raj, right? So the Guru's house is open, the Khalsa is always there to help. There's nothing extreme about it, it's about having a massive heart. Right.
And on the end, on that as well, that Maharaj has also told us to realize everyone's children of God. Paramatma, everything that was created is all, God-given. God has produced it. So, and we must sort of, have that vision on everybody that we're all equals, and that we. Where they have this caste system, the Jata Path, to reject it, to get rid of that. So it all, normalize everybody as human beings. So Maniski Jat, Sabeka, Pajan, sort of thing. But what that, there's other further discussion on that, and there's also people make controversy out of that as well in terms of like, you don't have to take, what's the difference between a Muslim and a Hindu and a Sikh and all that sort of thing, and they go on a different argument, and it all gets a bit blurry for them. But we can.
I think what more importantly is that there's no I guess biased. That's the important thing. So looking at everyone in equal terms, right?
We shouldn't be judgmental against anybody. I think that's what it is.
Then, in addition to that, you come to the our shastras. So those Panj Kakars that we wear, we need to wear them all the time. And our shastra, our Kirpan Siri Sahib, is critical. Each one of them is it becomes part of our body. And Maharaj calls those people who don't wear shastras giddars. Giddar is, I love that Punjabi word, it's got a great feel to it when you say it. But if you really want to cuss someone, you call it giddar. If you translate it, you can call it jackal, but a giddar is someone who's got no you know, like no zamir, no
backbone.
Yeah, you know, like a slimy creature.
Yeah.
Right. No stand-up individual.
Yeah.
Right. So Maharaj is saying to us that we take.
He might say something but never stand up for it.
Yeah.
He might, you know.
Yeah. Opposite to lion thing, share,
yeah.
right? Opposite to that.
Yeah.
Right, like a scavenger.
He stands his ground. The
Yeah.
share,
Yeah. Never cut or trim your hair, head to toe, unequivocally, right? Head to toe, not to touch. To do biadabi.
Yeah.
Always greet, sing and sing these with fateh. Waheguru ji ka khalsa, Waheguru ji ki fateh. That's a chardi kala statement to make and to accept.
Ji.
Bajetaji wrote down not to wear lal suharang. So this is Guru Sahib is giving these vachans. This is quite poignant actually. Lal suharang is the suha. Say suha. Suha is a color which is referred to as the bridal color. You know, that really deep red.
Right.
So it's not something that us as the Khalsa would. Maharaj doesn't want us to be wearing that. There's no niceties about it. There's no way to package it.
So when an Amrit gets married, for example, you get some of the brides wearing. So I've seen it. So some Amrit brides have worn red potentially. Yeah. So what happens?
And the red bug as well. I wore a red bug.
Yeah, and the red bug. Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. So
didn't know.
We didn't know. If you didn't know, then that's forgivable. If you anjana it,
so what are the 4 colours that Khalsa wear?
I don't know.
Kesari,
Kesari, white, black,
and blue.
And what's the significance of those?
That is another there's another 4 episodes in its own.
And am I right in saying that comes from Bhai Gurdas Ji has explained those different colours over the different ages, the Jarjug.
All right. Also, moving on, so we've got that last round. To do Sangat with Gursikhs. Company is really important, right? We know that in schools peer pressure can lead to a lot of actual behaviours, right?
It's not about being discriminative about somebody else. Or main nanu like karna. But Sangat is very, very important, and you are a product of the environment you live in. So Jaisi Sangat Vaisi Mat. And this is why Maharaj, I think in this one, is saying, a good Sikh Khandi, so you're on the path of learning, and you're improving yourself as well all the time.
Yes.
But if you go into Sangat where they're going to take you in a different direction,
you stay away from
then you've got to stay away from
Bhagat Gaviji has done a wonderful, in his Mani, he talks about a bear and a banana plant standing next to each other, and what it's saying is that the beard has the thorns, right, thorny bush, let's say, and it talks about it. The translation is basically as the wind blows, the banana plant leaves are really big. So as they blow against the thorns, they get shredded, and that's what it's like doing sangat with the wrong type of people. They will shred you to pieces. They will destroy your anything, any credibility you've got.
What happens is that your doubt starts coming in, and then your discipline starts suffering. If you're in the right crowd, then you're gonna improve yourself.
It builds you up. If I could refer back to you were saying in the camp, it's sort of being there 6 days, from morning from sunrise to sunset, and you were having this sangat and having darshan of Guru Maharaj, and it uplifted you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Is that what you felt? Is this hukam is of Maharaj, having the right sangat?
Right sangat, and even now at this present moment, it's like we were out at Smedhi Gurukar last night. Again, there's 24-hour job based Debat going on. Again, the sangat was great because we're doing,
So you're taking that power from the sangat.
Yes. And it's so important to keep up with it, because when you come out with it, which I have, I must admit, when you asked me what has been the downfall afterwards, when you don't do it, even for 2 days, you do start feeling low. You feel you need something to boost you back up.
You feel something's missing.
Something's missing again, Not that Barneys don't boost you up, because obviously they should, and they do in the morning, and the Rara Sabji in the evening. But Sangat, there's just a different score about the Sangat.
Sure.
Worship of Akal Purkh. So Waheguru is what the concept of Waheguru Maharaj has given us. All our Guru Sahibs has always told us not to worship them, but to worship Akal Purkh.
Yeah.
And that's a very...
No middleman. So that means there's no no giving Panj Pon to the Gyani and saying Ardas Karo medley, you know, when you can do it yourself directly through the Akali Roop.
That should be, you know, Mara Samratya, and it doesn't matter what language you speak in, even without words, Maharaj is going to understand you. He's going to understand your pain, your sukh, your dukh. He's going to understand it. All you need to do is stand in front of Maharaj and have that connection with Maharaj and cut out the middleman. So, kadi bhi afraid na ho ke I can't say the right words, because you know the heart doesn't speak, but the heart emanates an energy which is going to be picked up by Maharaj, and he's going to understand everything and give you your just deserves, even if we don't speak, but Maharaj understands everything. And Maharaj is the manifestation of Vaheguru.
Yep.
And when we look at the Sri Guru Granth Sahib, the Shabda Guru, that is our living temporal Guru, that represents the Kalpuruk.
And more importantly, Maharaj, Vaheguru resides within. Yeah, so he's going to hear, he's going to, he's next to your heart, he's there inside you. So, and then this thing about the Apana, the Amrit Sanchar thing is all about removing that veil, that wall or gand or whatever that stops you from getting to Guruji. So that's the important part about this as well. And I suppose the Vaheguru mantra is all about eulogizing and remembering that Paramatma is inside you all the time, with you, around you. He's around you for 24/7. He's inside you, outside you. It's just I'm good.
So part of our daily living then. So Maharaj also explicitly mentioned that we should be eating food which is only prepared by Amritaris.
Okay.
What that means is the sucham is really high and important. It's a very important thing of Guru Sikhs. Sucham is clinical sucham, as in cleanliness, clinical cleanliness. Hospitals, doctors, they've come back and they've realised how much disease and bacteria has been spread just through not washing hands and covering your face. Whereas Guru Gobind Singh Ji gave us this clinical cleanliness from 1699. We wash our hands before we touch our shastras. We wash our hands before we do part. We wash our hands before we take food. We wash our hands before we make food. We cover our face when we're making food. So the whole emphasis is on cleanliness. And to say that it's prepared by Amritaris is because at that time and even now you get food prepared ritualistically by other faiths. And it's like, my understanding is it's almost as if they're putting a spell on that food. And it's going to have an effect on whoever's going to eat it. Whereas with Amritari, we want to keep it clean, we want to keep it sucha, and therefore we don't have any doubt. Now I know that, I think further up we said Maharaj has told us also to do ardas before we take any food anyway, and do ardas before we do anything. So that gives us that extra double protection. But there was mentioned the food to be eaten prepared by Amritaris. And that may open up and expose us in terms of going out if you want to eat out, having a meal. But that's what Guru Gobind Singh Ji told us. So we should be mindful. And we absolutely aren't permitted to eat halal, right? And that doesn't mean that if it's not meat, it should be okay. If it's made in that vicinity, then unhone utensils wahi vartane. And therefore, sadly for us, for Amritaris, we need to eat sadda food, simple food. I mean, further on it does mention Shakti Padar 36. Variations of food that we can eat. However, just to keep it simple, because we do live in an outside world, we can make our own food that's great. If we have to eat out, right, and try and be as careful as you can.
It's minimise the risk, basically. So as little as possible. If you can cut down on eating out as little as possible, then that's good for you. And the other thing is, obviously tobacco-wise, you don't know if anybody who's preparing it as a smoker or anything like that as well. So, and if we get tobacco, which is regarded as jagat jut, right, which is the whole world's worth of contamination in one place. And that's and once you take a little bit of tobacco inside you, and then that just destroys the whole spirituality, whole of the things you've worked for is destroyed, and then obviously we have to, as Amritaris, go bish if that ever happens, and take Amrit again for that thing.
Carry on. Next.
So we live in Pana. Guru Gobind Singh Ji gave us the Chardikala spirit, so we accept everything as the will of Vaheguru. whatever circumstances and environment we're in, we have our principles that we stand by, literally do or die, not to stand back. And we know if for justice, we will there. Maharaj gave us the example of the sea spirit, taking the sea, so therefore we should be willing to give everything for the right cause, in the name of our Guru Sahib, in the name of a Khalsa. Always wear our Panj Kakars, always. That means sleeping, washing, always wear them. If we take our kashara off, the Maharaj has given us the, we take one leg out and put one leg in the new one. The point is that the chastity element, it elevates the character of a good Sikh.
Sure.
Right? We live in horrible times at the moment. There's Kalyug in its prime. And you talk about Sangat, so this television is an example of Sangat. You watch something, you keep watching it, you're going to be influenced by it.
Yep.
So that environment at the moment now for us to be suchet is we get entwined with our Shabad and our Part and our Abhyas. And these kakars that we wear, they help us stay strong. The kirpan, the kakars were defined, which is great. And in addition to that, we must keep our gaze covered all the time. So, although all the Panj kakars mentioned, are the case, but the actual dastar is something that's taken for. It's a given. So we must keep our gaze covered all the time, and especially a Guru Sikh mustn't eat without his gaze being covered, or go to the bathroom, right? And of course, you have to wash your hair and you have to dry it. On those moments, that's an exception. But you must keep your hair covered at all times.
Sure.
When you go to sleep, or a smaller dastar. But to keep and of course your 5 kakars on all the time.
Well, the other benefit of to bring this in as well, but the other benefit of having the start, at night time, especially during the winter, is you'll get a cold head as well. So it helps keep the body the balance. Let's say so
you use 90% of body heat loses through the head.
So that's quite a good thing as well. That.
And I think just to expand on that is, and I've read in other Ratname that Singh mana kita hai as is an absolute no to wear a topi, a hat. Right, Guru Gobind Singh Ji was explicit, and now, there's a lot of Singhs who took notes.
There's a lot of harsh words actually in the Hukamnamas. A lot of harsh words, and I'm not going to repeat them here. Because it can be taken as offensive, and shabads like that, they are in the Hukamnamas. Jeda Sikh ko topi paunda, uda narka nu jehड़ा हैगा उधर nu uda path ho jana, and much more harder than that. कई जानवरों दे भी नाल ले महाराज ने कि जेड़े टोपी पाउण वाले आ. I'm not going into that, but दस्तार दी जेड़ी कीमत आ, दस्तार दी वैल्यू आ, वो महाराज ने आपां नूं दस्सिया ते हर सिख नूं दस्तार पाउणी चाहीदी है. Ironically, I was driving up to London, and London ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਦਾ ਦਾੜੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਰੱਖੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ, but they didn't have time ਨੀਗਾ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਵੁਲੀ ਜੀ ਟੋਪੀ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਿਕਲ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਨਿੱਕਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਪਟਕਾ ਬੰਨ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਨਿੱਕੀ ਵੁਲੀ ਹੈਡ ਬੰਨ ਲੈਂਦੇ, and they don't even have time for just to tie the star. ਇੰਨੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਬਿਜ਼ੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ.
Let's ask Benji, how do you feel now you tie the star where you didn't probably before? What does it help you?
Oh, it's amazing. It's a part of me. It's part of my everyday. I mean, I wear it to bed as well. Like Bardi said, wear a small one, but in fact I will just tie it fresh again, and it's just because it's part of me now. And obviously the first 2 days I struggled, so I would watch YouTube videos and tie it. And at one point I was actually crying. I was looking at myself in the mirror and thinking, when am I going to just tie it? I just had to, obviously the Guru Ka did Mardas, and the following day people were like, who's someone tied it for you? I said, no, I've just done it. So Guru Ki Pai, I started, I'll do it now in 5 minutes.
So the YouTube's good.
Oh God, yes, of course. And
so we never underestimate the Ardas,
I find that, also elevation, when you stand up as well, you stand taller, you stand straight as well, because it makes you correct your posture. I'm sure, that's how I feel. And when I haven't got it on, if I'm just wearing, having a shower or whatever, then it all tells you a different thing. But as soon as you start tying it, and plus the other thing is this, I mean, okay, we're not going into the scientific part of it, but at the end of the day, it's pressing on certain pressure points in your head. Some of the nada and and your temples are protected and all that sort of thing. And the sheer, the pressure that it's applying to different parts in your head is very scientific around it, because they have they talk about cranial massage and stuff like that. I'm sure I feel it, that when you do, you feel better, and it's about balancing your body.
But you know what? Let's just take it in the way that
our Guru told us to.
Maharaj forget about any scientific theory. ਇਹਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਕੀ ਆ ਇਹਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਕੀ ਆ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਪਿਤਾ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਆ ਆਪਣਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਆ ਆਪਣਾ ਇਸ਼ਟ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਆ ਆਪਣਾ ਪਿਆਰਾ ਆ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹੁਕਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਿ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਕੀ ਆ ਕੀ ਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਉਸ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸੱਤ ਬਚਨ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਦੈਟਸ ਇਟ ਆਈ ਐਮ ਗੋਇੰ ਟੂ ਐਕਸੈਪਟ ਇਟ ਅੱਠਵਾਂ ਬਚਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਦ ਵਾਈ ਇੱਥੇ ਸੱਤ ਬਚਨ ਹੈ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੱਤ ਬਚਨ ਹੈ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ we've come to the end of the Amrit Sanchar. All I would like to quote you from Gurbani. Maharaj says Amrit Shod Bikya Labane Seva Kare Vadani. This is what people are with, disregarding the Amrit. We greedily grab to poison and serve others instead of the Lord. Maharaj says Apana Dharma Gavave Mujhe Nahi Andan Dukh Vahani. We lose faith in our own. We have no understanding, and night and day we suffer in pain. Remember what we do, Sikh Awareness Society. Sada kam hega working with real terrible cases. The Sad Sangat ji week de vich hafte vich 6-7 ਘਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ, and you look at the dukh and you look at the pain in them. And you know what, ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਘਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਦੀ ਆ, ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜੀ ਦਾ, and you know what, ਉਹਦੇ ਉੱਥੇ uplift ਹੁੰਦਾ, and ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੀਵਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਸੁਧਾਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ. ਸੋ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਅਜ਼ਮਾਰ ਸੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਧਰਮ ਗਵਾਵੇ ਬੂਝੇ ਨਾਹੀ ਅੰਦਨ ਦੁੱਖ ਵਹਾਣੀ. Yes, ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, don't lose your faith. Have an understanding of your faith and accept what the Gurus have done over 230 years, from Guru Nanak to Guru Gobind Singh, to fully complete the ideal human being, the Khalsa, Take Amrit, Pivo Paul, Khandadar, Hoye, Janasuela. On that note, thank you very much, guys, for showing up into the studios, and we'll see you in the next episodes. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.